the way I explain in Upasana and Tantra to any of my friends who are not aware of these subjects is that I tell them the thing that you're doing chemistry with reality. You're doing some kind of chemical reactions with reality through mantras. That's how powerful mantras are. But you need to be guided in terms of which mantras mix with which other mantras and which ones you shouldn't do, and the different proportions of each one. I believe that it's not wise to jump from one deity to another completely, etc. Is that a correct pattern of thinking? Or maybe I want to reframe my question in terms of how do you know whether you should do Bhairav Upasana?
So that is to find out which deity Upasana you have to do. There are 2-3 methods. One is that first, the basic is that if you have a liking for a specific deity, you can start off that way. Or if there's a specific deity who's worshipped in your family, you can start off that deity. Or if you have a guru who specifically tells you worship this deity. Or the last is, if you look at the horoscope of an individual, you can get some idea about what deity is suitable for the individual. And the last is, if there is a problem going on in life and you want a solution to that problem, then it can be some deity. That may or may not be your primary deity. It could be something you have to do temporarily for 6 months or a year, something like that. That's also possible. So all in all, first thing is that, can multiple deities be worshipped? Yes, it can be worshipped. There's no problem in that. You may have Bhairava as your primary deity. Along with it, you can worship some form of Devi. You can worship Skanda. You can worship Ganpati. It depends on what is it that you want. Finally, why are you worshipping these deities? So there is,
How about creating a sadhana which is effectively the whole Shiv Shakti family?
Yes, so that's precisely what I ask people to do in the through the Telegram groups that my team runs. So there's a Bhairava sadhana we do on Ashtami Tithi. Okay, there is a Durga Upasana we do on Shukla Paksha Ashtami. That is the bright fortnight of Ashtami. Bhairava we do on the dark fortnight. Okay. On Shashti Tithis, there is a Skanda Upasana. On Chaturdashi Tithis, we do a Matara Upasana. These are the 4 deities I ask people to carry on doing every month. 4 days a month, specific, intense, more intense sadhana of these deities. And otherwise, on an average Nitya Upasana, which is daily Upasana, a little less amount of these deities are done. But this creates a very comprehensive force, and given, and for anybody who follows what I am saying, these are the deities who have had a central role in my own sadhana and in the driving of the organization that I am leading right now. So therefore, anybody who wants to connect to me has also to connect to these deities. So that it already becomes a very comprehensive force. There is Skanda, there is Bhairava. Even Bhairava, there is a krama in which stages. So you start with Om Bhairavaya Namah, then after a point, you go to Vatuka Bhairava, you go to Kala Bhairava, like this, various things. Skanda is there, Ma Tara is there, Ma Durga is there. So this becomes a very comprehensive sort of a package. But in general, the idea is that there is no harm in worshipping multiple deities. By the way, in polytheistic cultures, everybody worships multiple deities. But you have one central deity you like more. Say you like Bhairava more. So what you do is that your sadhana may suppose Bhairava is a central deity. It starts with Bhairava first. Okay. And you do a substantial amount of the Bhairav mantra japa or whatever. Then you go do a little bit of Devi Upasana, suppose. Then suppose you're doing Ganpati. Depends on the person to person. On some amount of Skanda. And once the whole thing is completed for the day, when you're doing Nitya Upasana, the last Upasana also, last end of the day, you again do a little bit of Pranam to Bhairava. Suppose he's the main deity. End the day with a Pranam to Bhairava and say that actually all the deities are your own consciousness. One has become many, many has become one.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.